invisible zipper.
And it's actually a lot easier than you think. I use these 5 rules, and the first one is to press my zipper teeth flat. This helps the coils relax, making the stitch line a lot easier to reach. The second thing I do is actually baste my zipper in place. I do this so I don't stab myself with needles, but also to keep the zipper in place while I sew it. But I also leave a little space at the top, and that's gonna give me a little room for a hook and eye later. Next, I switch over to a zipper foot and bring it on over to my sewing machine. But hear me out, because this is where people go wrong. Because notice how far away the needle is from the line of the coils. For the sake of this tutorial, I actually sewed at this distance, and you can see it has a gap. And so the third thing that I do is I use the needle position to get it to this distance right here. And then I sew like a little baby, because I don't want to sew off my fingers. But if you take your time and sew really close, it'll close the gap. The fourth thing I do is I actually mark where my waist meets. This is going to allow me to pin and baste the zipper in place so that it does not move. And at this point, I want to test my zipper to make sure that all of my seams align, and they do. So now we can close off the center back seam, but it gets a little tight down there. So the fifth thing that I do is I actually snip at this point so that it relaxes the fabric. And then I actually mark about 1/8 of an inch down, and that is where I put my needle to start sewing. Next, I give her a good press, and then I cut off any part of the zipper that I don't need, and then hand sew a stopper so that the zipper pull doesn't come off. And voila, a beautiful zipper! But come back for part 2 if you want to see how I attach it to a lining.